Hi guys, I'm Ryan from Reading With My Eyes, and I'm going to do my July TBR, and I'm super excited for July. I'm going to go to a book signing, so I'm going to have some books that I am going to read for that signing. So let me tell you guys all about them. The first book I'm going to talk about is Best Offer Wins by Marisa Kashino. This is an unhinged look at the housing industry. A woman wants to buy a house, and she has no luck. She's 37. She wants to start a family, but she's like, oh, I need this house to start this family. She finds out from a realtor people are going to sell in a month. And she's like, okay, I got to befriend these people, lightly stalk them, and be their best friend so they can't turn down my offer and they'll just give me the house. That is her plan, and it goes horribly wrong. And I can't wait, and I've heard it's very unhinged. I'm really excited for that one. The next book I'm going to read is You'll Be Sorry by Lisa Gardner. I've never read a Lisa Gardner book, but I know of her name. She's definitely very prolific and has a very big catalog. But this is a standalone. I got given to this by Grand Central Publishing. This comes out on August 8th. They gave it to me because this book has spooky vibes. And I'm all about spooky vibes. Summerween. Yeah, Summerween, live on. So this is about a couple that just bought their dream house. They don't know anything about it. It's in the secluded mountains. And a dog finds bodies. And then they find out that the owners that previously owned the house all went missing. The whole family, the husband and wife, and their 4 kids. So everybody went missing, and this dog finds this body, and it's supposed to be really good and unhinged. Who can you trust? You can't trust your neighbors because maybe they were in on it. Just a really good story. Is going to be Event Horizon Dark Descent by Christian Ward. This is an arc from IDW Publishing. This comes out on July 28th. I am a huge fan of the 1997 movie Event Horizon with Lawrence Fishburne, Sam Neill. This is the prequel to that story. They're investigating the Event Horizon in that story, and this is the Event Horizon's initial journey. If you don't know where they go to hell. They're a dimension like hell-like, and it is crazy. That was a movie from my childhood that I loved. It was cosmic horror, and I was really happy and excited that they're going to do a prequel to it. The comic version has already came out. It collects 1 through 5 in Event Horizon Dark Descent in 1 volume, but I'm really excited that I got this arc from IDW. This is my first graphic novel arc. Headlights by CJ Leede. This is a book that she gave me at AuthorCon to read. I'm really excited for it. It is about an FBI agent on his last day. He gets a message that it's happening again, and he was about to quit, but then he's like, okay, I got to finish this last case. And this last case is crazy because it's about people waking up in bodies that people they've never known, but they wake up in the skin of these victims. They wake up with a long hair tied around their tongue, too. It's supposed to be very crazy, kind of procedural, but cosmic horror. It's supposed to be awesome from CJ Leede, and I'm all here for it. The Night Crew by Brad Ricks is a really fun vampire hunting story. It's about a crew, they're called the Night Crew, and they hunt vampires. Really good story. I'm really liking it. I'm actually halfway through this right now, and it's really awesome and amazing. How to Survive a Horror Story by Mallory Arnold. This is a horror book about horror authors that get invited to a house. I've been told this is like Saw in a haunted house. And that sounds crazy to me. I'm going to meet Mallory Arnold pretty soon. She is touring with Paul Tremblay for his new novel. And so I've never read a Mallory Arnold. I've read a lot of Paul Tremblay, but I wanted to read her, and she's got a new novel coming out as well that I might want to check out. But I've heard really good stuff about this, so I'm looking forward to this. Dragons of Autumn Twilight by Margaret Weis and Tracy Hickman. This is a very personal book to me. This was one of those gateway books that I was either in the 7th or 8th grade, I can't remember exactly, at the little shelf at school, and you had to do assigned reading time. And this is one of the books that was just a gateway for me in reading. And I remember it really vividly. I don't remember the story so much, but I just remember enjoying it and reading it. And it was like one of my first like fantasy novels. And so it really did that gateway to reading. And I'm really excited to read that. And then I'm going to meet Margaret Weis and Tracy Hickman at Gen Con later this month. And that's going to be really special for me. Wolf Hunt by Jeff Strand is a book that I've read before. This is going to be my monster of the month. It's an awesome werewolf novel. Basically, two grunts get assigned to babysit this really skinny guy that is chained, and they're supposed to deliver it and drop it off to the mob. What they are not told is this guy is really a werewolf, and chaos ensues when they think they can take this skinny guy, but he turns out to be a werewolf that can expand in size, and it's a crazy book. And I love it. It's basically that good horror with the tongue-in-cheek comedy. And Jeff Strand is a lot of fun. If you never read Jeff Strand, you should read him. He's a lot of fun. And then my wifely pick of the month is going to be Hunger Games by Susan Collins. This is a book that I've read before, and I rated 3 stars. But I had a lot of bias when I read it. I loved the novel Battle Royale. Which, if you don't know what the story of Battle Royale, it is about kids fighting to the death under a communist government, which is kind of like Hunger Games, and I was really set on that. But now Hunger Games gets compared to like Red Rising, Hunger Games in Space. So I'm going to read this book again with open eyes. Susan Collins has really created a cool world, and so I want to experience it again with fresh eyes, and so I'm really looking forward to reading this novel. The Children by Mellisa Albert. This is a book that's called A Fantasy with Horror Elements. A prolific fantasy author grew up with her kids in the deep woods. They did not have a good life. They had a really tumultuous life. They remember living in the woods. But this is a horror fantasy, so I'm thinking these kids are actually not her kids, but they're creatures from the woods from her stories. Good Morning America pick for their book club, and a lot of people are raving about it. I haven't really heard anything about it, so I'm just speculating. And guys, that is my TBR. I'm super excited. I'm going to try to fit some other ones in too. If I can, I'm going to a lot of signings, and I always want to read books for signings. So I'm Ryan from Reading With My Eyes. Thank you guys for watching.